Now, going back to no judging or criticizing, it's very important. Okay? Let people talk. Let them say what they have to say. If you see people shaking their heads or rolling their eyes or whatever they're doing in the back, or starting to make noises, you as the moderator or facilitator of learning in that classroom, you have the authority after all. I always say, we listen to this idea before going on. Go on. Okay. You can do that. Interest in intellect and emotion, what that refers to is what we've already talked about, is that when people say something, it's not just what the words say, it's what they might be expressing from that person also. An ability to paraphrase and infer, but be very cautious about this. Experts are always telling us that we should be able to paraphrase what people say. Well, that's a very good technique when you're working with people who it's been your experience that they really are not listening to you. And it's a very good way of showing them and confirming to yourself that they really are not listening to what you said. You be here at 9 o'clock, do the dishes at 9:30, and be in bed by 10. What did I just say? That you're going to be here at 9 and what else? And if they can't follow, they weren't listening, so you know that tomorrow they're not going to do that anyway. Okay. It's a very good way of curing chronic non-listeners, but it can also be very offensive. And you called it stroking, and it's the same thing. When you use paraphrasing out of context, okay, if you ever hear this idea again that paraphrasing is good, it's not always good. Sometimes people feel that you're patronizing them. What you're doing is mimicking them instead of just letting them know that you understood what they said. But if there's a chance that you might misunderstand, or there's the opportunity of a bad misunderstanding that may have awful implications later on, we're talking primarily in groups when we're developing software, walkthroughs, for example, reviews, you need to paraphrase and make sure that everybody understands the same thing from what a person said before you can actually say, well, we should do that or we shouldn't do that. It's very important. A commitment to really listen is also important. Right? When people are talking, especially in an instructional environment, when you fake it, it comes right through, and all you go through is as a phony. It's not sincere. People start mistrusting you. There goes the learning also. And you need an ability to reflect, which primarily means that it's another side of effective listening. It's being able to pick up on what a person says and reflect it back like a mirror. And part of that is paraphrasing. Okay, where you say, well, wait a minute. Let me see if I understood you correctly. What you're telling me is, and you paraphrase what they said before you can determine whether or not you're going to answer one way or the other. It's also very important.